Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a 1-hour client reading for one of my repeat clients. I always pull very beautiful cards for this client and her divine masculine, or their energy always sends me very beautiful cards for them. But there's been separation despite, all the really awesome cards for them, because they both have, not unlike the rest of us, but they both have, some fairly extensive healing to do, So they're doing that, and like karmic ties and connections and relationships that need to be completed, resolved, right? See if there's any unfinished business. Remember, this period right now is really about that, particularly because of Mars and Aquarius. Mars and Aquarius, all about the unfinished business, as was the Capricorn full moon. So that's where we're at. That's from where we're starting. And first I'm going to take a look at the wave which they may be, since I already know they are among the community. So I will do that using the Ace of Summer, the Two of Summer, and the Three of Summer. According to the scriptures, the Illumine and Elect are sort of discharged or released, deployed. I forget the word that's used that I was trying to think of. Dispatched. And first in 2 groups of 72,000 apiece, 2 by 2. So couples, that equals the 144,000. And then as far as the rest of the elect, it talks about, direct members of the elect, and then some of their descendants and some of their ancestors, some elders. So that's how everybody will go. All right, according to the prophecies and the scriptures. All right, so again, Ace, 2, 3. I'm just going to mix them up. And where I stop, nobody knows. I don't pay attention to where the cards are. Try to do it rather quickly so they get good and mixed up, although there's only 3 possibilities where they can be for each. Not the second. Wow, not the third. Very nice. That just tells us not necessarily how much closer we are to the end, but at least who may be joining us along our, when the fork in the road comes. Okay, so also I like to see which is their primary purpose. In addition to the love, our collective primary purpose is love and to raise the vibration of the planet. Then some will do something connected directly to love. And it could just be, living their lives and setting an example, or maybe providing some sort of service as it relates to love, counseling, or love and relationships, and not just romantic, right? Other kinds of relationships to show how did you get there? arrive at that place. This one is about people who go into get to pursue their creative passions together. Could be like with a business. If it is, it's like work that they love, right? They're like when your hobby gets to become your job, and it's a common interest between the two of them, something about which they're both very passionate, and they get to display their talent and creativity in what they're doing. And this one can also be about a business, starting a business, and maybe because or as a result, you become some sort of vehicle of abundance to others. And then also philanthropy. And I mean, we're all expected to tithe, right? The scriptures and the prophecies say to support the prophets. And when I say the scriptures, I don't mean only the Bible. I'm not talking to just like people who may still follow a Christian ideology or anything. For those new to my channel, I very familiar, well-versed, as they say, in the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran, as well as some other texts and, again, prophecies. So we're all expected to tithe and to support the prophets, the real ones, who we believe to be real. We're supposed to help to further the cause and work collectively. That could be a focus. Additionally, a main focus for anyone turning up with the Ace of Autumn, that they will come in, the universe will bless them with a type of abundance and quantity and quality of abundance that will enable them to spread it around to others in support of their work and the collective journey. And the Ace of Winter is our foot soldiers, the activists, the writers, those who will write books and do public speaking. Again, activism, right? Carrying the sword out in the streets, bringing truth around. Maybe they're teachers, maybe they're preachers, that nature. So we'll see what comes up for this couple. Okay, not creative passions, not foot soldiers, and not just love. That means support. They will be blessed with, now abundance comes in all different kinds of forms. I will remind you, they will be blessed with abundance. Of one form or another that they are to share. You can expect a windfall of abundance, such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or promotion, or the prospect of a profitable business venture or investment. So any number of those things could be true for them. And again, it will be something that is lucrative in whatever it is, whether it's connected to love and relationships still, or finances, or material, time, energy, blessed with something that will support other people. All right, that out of the way, let's get to this. Again, I saw a lot of beautiful cards, but I still saw evidence of, healing, continued healing. So that's what I'm beginning with as well. Healing sounds, which is about the need to meditate, and preferably through, involving some sort of audio aid, binaural tones, or some sort of genre of music that you're into. It could be a public speaker, right? The motivational speakers, guided meditation. I don't recommend that if you may fall asleep, though, because then you don't know what people are speaking over your life. All right? People should be awake when they're listening to guided meditation, just in case the person says something that they're, unfamiliar with and uncomfortable with, or otherwise don't like. They can take off the headphones or whatever. But anything that, that brings you peace. And if you do want to use the binaural tones, there's one for each and everything imaginable. Anything you could be going through, like you got to study for a test, you're in school, there's binaural tones for that. You're attempting to bring on abundance, there's binaural tones for that. Healing a chakra, binaural tones for that. So whatever you choose to work on. And speaking of healing a chakra, you may want to focus on, say, the sacral chakra, since we're looking at this divine feminine here, or feminine energy, sitting under moonlight. So maybe in a pool of water. There may be a water sign involved here. I don't remember the signs involved here. I think she may be some kind of air sign, now that I think about it. Maybe Aquarius? I'm not positive. We'll see what comes up. But yeah, there's an energy of water and healing of emotions, and maybe specifically the sacral chakra as well. And opening to message from afar, which can bring in the energy of fire. Oh, Trilogy of Light just popped up too. That's cool. Trilogy of Light is about the masculine and feminine, not necessarily in that order. They could be reversed, and the divine, coming together, trying to always approach oneness and become nearer and dearer to the universe, to God. A message from afar can have to do with that too. The message from afar can indeed be from the universe, from God, through, your guides, your ancestors, the angels, your dreams. Sometimes Archangel Michael, something will enter our dreams and plant some sort of seed there, or communicate with us. And it's a good idea to have something like a pen and paper or whatever, if not like an actual journal, a diary by your bed, so that you can, when you wake up, you can write these things down. Message from afar can also be communication between the two, whether telepathic or actual physical communication, long distance calls, email, texts, or both. Message from afar. And Moon Tree. I saw Moon Tree probably about 3 times while I was shuffling for this couple. Also, they're showing me, oh, love. That's cool. And Eternal Flame just popped out also. See, I told you, they always have really awesome cards. So Moon Tree is a card of sacred marriage. The marriage between heaven and earth, and the marriage between two divine beings. Moon Tree and transient. So this is the continued evidence of the need for healing, head to toe. Ultimately, we realize that we're never completely done, right? Growing, learning, healing. If you are, then you're like, why are you still here? There's like no reason to be here if we've done everything. But as far as these karmic lessons that are required before we can enter, the next stage of our journey, we're working on that. They're working on that. And that is what continues to result in blessings for them. Even when they haven't gotten back into communication, every time I work with her or him, or both, it results in some sort of where she can feel the furthering. All of a sudden he's entering her dreams, or, you know, where he hadn't before. Things that were blocked are coming through. She's seeing the synchronicities. So it's still constant progress and growth, you know, toward one day, right, when their dreams will come true, miracles will be realized. And the overall energy is sorrow, which I feel is connected to the separation in part, and, you know, those things that do need to be healed, the ones that involve one another, and the forgiveness and releasing of, you know, old emotions and stuff, and, you know, the karmic relationships on either side. And then also, you know, as individuals, the pain and different things that they've experienced in the past that sort of, you know, what brought them here. What resulted in them being in this space where they need to revisit stuff from, you know, past lives and, you know, their past in this lifetime. Divine female. Feminine. About herself. Masculine as it relates to the feminine. Himself. The union as a whole. Overall. The masculine would have the feminine do toward the union what he himself is willing to. With the universe would have the two to do, surrender, contribute, whatever, what they're going to work on, and the outcome. Dreams. I just talked about how she, every time I work with her, or I do a reading or we do some sort of energy work or something, the dreams increase. So she might be going through these, experiencing these still and right now, or more to come as a result of the reading, which is awesome. And that communication that I spoke of that could be coming as part of message from afar may also be in dreams. I'm going to move this a little. Yeah. Masculine about the feminine as it relates to the feminine. It's the universal heart. So this is the healer of the ages. So acknowledgement of the fact that, yes, he is working on healing too, and that he sees her doing the same. And, you know, right away we're starting with these like matching color schemes. And we did before, I didn't mention it, but when I was holding up Message from Afar and then Trilogy of Light popped up from the other side, those two cards, the same colors as well. So we're doing it again here, the blue and the green. Indications of healing. Again, possibly water signs, dreams, intuition, Pisces and especially comes up with the water sign. At least as it relates to dreams, right? That Neptunian energy, Neptune currently in retrograde in Pisces. So that could be, she could be feeling the effects of that, or, you know. The masculine about himself here, guardian. So, you know, facing the world, his demons, his lessons, going out there like a warrior. But knowing that, you know, he has backup too. He's got support, he's never alone. And he's got this. And she's got her like war paint on. She's ready to, you know, to win. The union as a whole, emergence. The two of them rising back from the depth, and the union perhaps making a comeback now, being revived from the dead, right? Rising up toward the white light of the Christ light. Born again, like the phoenix rising. You can tell with this car, with all this yellow and the white light, again, then, you know, where there's light, there's dark. So the dark must be from where they emerged. So we're beyond that now. And now we just continue to further ascend toward more light, nearer and dearer to the universe, toward oneness. Overall, Moon Tree is back, sacred marriage. Told you, always beautiful cards for this client. There's also some like a moon phase this week that could be important for them. There is on the 12th or 13th, depending on one's location in the world, the new moon in Cancer. Maybe that's all the water energy that keeps coming up too. New moon in Cancer and partial solar eclipse. So the moon in the tarot represents the sign of Pisces, but Earth's moon rules the sign of Cancer. So it'll be like double, right? It's doubly impactful when there is the moon in Cancer. Also, the moon about feminine energy, and that goes all the way back to the scriptures too. The book of Enoch talks about the feminine energy being the moon and the masculine being the sun. But not only feminine energy, but like to take it further, feminine energy of surrender. So surrendering to the work that has to be done, and I'm just allowing for the process and not trying to fight it and not complaining about, the delay, because that just further delays. It means we didn't get it yet, so we have to repeat a lesson. Means we don't yet understand that it's not just about us and our wants and our desires, because that's where ego comes in. And so back to the drawing board, and then you get that Two of Pentacles energy, right? Deja vu from hell. Also, I just want to point out again more of the the color scheme. Not only these two cards, and I'll pick those up in a second, but these three each have the blue, the green. Okay. And then, of course, these two. Sharing the same colors of the Message from Afar and the Trilogy of Light. And these two possibly connected to fire energy, which right now doesn't necessarily really mean fire, because, like, for example, Mars, the red planet, got my two red candles here, ruler of fire sign Aries, is also ruler of Scorpio, is currently in retrograde in Aquarius. So fire could show up with regard to Aquarius. Also, the air sign Gemini, ruled by Mercury and Venus. Both Mercury and Venus currently located in Leo, the sun. So could be air signs and water signs too. Air, water, fire. What would the universe have the feminine do toward the union right now? Continue to work on the healing. And speaking of Venus and Mars, here's Mars, here's Venus, head to toe. And though, like, she's been through maybe even like war, this woman is all scarred, her neck, her face, she's still so strong, fearless, really, just courageous. Here in complete surrender, like the moon guides, head tilted back, eyes closed, body nude, not a worry in the world. She knows that she's being healed, that her guardians are present and they're helping her, they're aiding her, and she's allowing for it. So that is what my client is guided to do as well, and what the masculine would have her do. Like, you continue to get better. And here, what is he willing to do? Aw, boom. I told you, I can't make this up. I knew the really awesome cards were going to come out for them, because they always do. And again, it's the same color scheme still. He's matching. Isn't that awesome? So he's still, connected. He's acknowledging that he's still connected to the union, still desires it. But again, he's got some work to do too. He's trying. will the universe have the 2 to work on to do? Continue taking all that negative stuff that I felt in the beginning before I did the union, before I did the cards, and what this sorrow card represents. Take all of that, resentment, regret, inability to forgive or to seek forgiveness, resentment, cords to karmics that needs to be cut, residual crap, stuff from childhood that we're being forced to revisit by all the retrogrades right now. Take all of that, turn it into love. Of course, here's the energy of fire yet again. And when I picked, oh, I see what's happening here. When I picked up the sorrow, speaking of what needs to be let go, behind it is heaven on earth. So what I said here before was that the moon tree represented not only the marriage between 2 sacred beings, which is ultimately, I'm sure, what they care about most, but also the marriage between heaven and earth. And it's like we can have heaven on earth here, now. We don't have to wait for, the magic time when we expect, some sort of merge and whatever in 5D and all that. We don't have to wait for that. We can have heaven on earth now if we are willing to make space for it, make room for it. And that requires letting go of things that are taking up the space currently, which could be even emotions. There could be emotions. There could be karmics. So, and, I use that term very loose. I really don't like it. You like using karmic as a derogatory term. So I always do air quotes. But these are things through which we have to go and karma that we have to complete in order to get there. But we have free will to an extent also that allows us to let things go. Heaven on earth shows up. It's like something onto which we're holding. And we need to, take initiative to release whatever the thing is. But for this couple, very possibly, it is, like those negative emotions and stuff, that all they need to do is take those and turn them into love, release them, let them be turned into love. And that will lead to their own continued growth and ascension. And behind that message from afar is yet again. So all this fire coming back. Heaven on earth also is like fire and air together. And the outcome. Love also back. I couldn't make this up. See? Love, sacred union, moon tree about sacred marriage. Beautiful. All right. I also saw, however, stuff like triangle and whatnot when I was working with this deck. So let's see what comes up. Beginning with Ice King, which always tends to represent for me not only the air signs, but also the sign of Leo and the sign of Aries and Scorpio ruled by Mars. Right now, I guess even more so, because again, like I said, Mercury, ruler of air sign Gemini, is currently in Leo, as is Venus, right, ruler of air sign Gemini and Leo. Mars, currently in air sign Aquarius. Leo can also come up. Scorpio can also come up. Opening to communication. This could be easily connected to message from afar and the energy of Aquarius, whether somebody is one or not. Mars, the action planet, currently located in Aquarius, the planet of technology, that and as an air sign, a communication planet too. So this sort of communication. And opening to mature woman. Communication and destiny. That which we can escape, destined to make communication or receive communication. Destiny. Brunette female. So in this deck, this represents the karmic feminine energy, not necessarily an actual person, but definitely can be, where there is a toxic female in your life. She likely represents it. She is often a Cancer or a Leo Cancer cuspian, but of course can be any sign. Again, Cancer can also, or that karmic energy, the same way that the fair male tends to also represent just the sign of Capricorn for me. That brunette female might have also shown up, I'm feeling, because the sun is in Cancer, and again, the new moon in Cancer is approaching, and that time can be important, relative to their union. Overall energy is young male. Divine couple. Recent past. Masculine's higher self. Near future. Blocks to the union. What the feminine can do, the masculine can do. Further advice from the universe for the two, like what the universe will help, specifically will help them to do. Of course, the universe is available to us for everything, but specifically will work on for them, and the outcome. Divine couple. Mature man. So this man, there may be somebody older, especially since young male came up. They could be a father and son situation, very impactful, particularly on the union. This can also represent father, period, as in like the universe, because it represents for me like the planet Mars. Ooh, I don't know if you guys saw that. I just saw like something buzz by, like a little orb. The planet Mars and that aspect of the Emperor in the tarot, where it's very father-like, and we just saw I started with an energy of the Emperor too, like his other aspects, that sort of warrior leader with the Ice King card, and now this is the other part for me, like an older person. There's sirens too for healing. Yes, this can represent, again, the healing that's connected to Mars. And right now, in Mars in Aquarius, which is unfinished business, as I mentioned in the beginning. The recent past, mature woman, growth is what that represents for both. Near future, passion. This is very fiery energy. Leo may be involved. We're approaching Leo toward the end of the month, right? The sun will enter Leo. And that's what I'm feeling. But passion, pretty straightforward is what it means. Having an opportunity to be passionate in the near future. Masculine's higher self. New love. So new start, new chapter, which can easily be coming with the new moon. New moons are about new beginnings, as are solar eclipses. So again, we're doubly getting that next week, or this week, into the week. Blocks, further blocks. Short-term heartbreak, or like a temporary break, pause, heartbreak, while we, handle business on either side, I think. In the meantime, what can the feminine do? Deal with karma and understand that it's karma and it's karmic lessons, and we have to work through them, as I've repeated a few times during this reading, I believe. Karma also can be associated with the retrogrades, and again, particularly Mars in this case. Certainly Jupiter, which is retrograde in Scorpio. Saturn, which is retrograde in Capricorn. This card also tends to represent Capricorn for me. What the masculine can... union. This is what the masculine can do. So this is what he's working toward. It goes hand in hand with the new love, right? The new beginning. Further advice from the universe, what the universe is going to help the two of you with. Ooh. It's fixing some sort of drama, and then maybe connected to this. You know, these cards can have more than one meaning, and this can be some sort of friction with others, conflict that has to be worked through, or again, each of you on your own having to deal with some sort of karmic issue can lead to friction and conflict with others too. But the outcome, blonde female, and that would be you, because this is the representation of the divine feminine for me in this deck. Boom, yet again. Okay. Now to the Angel Tarot, I'm beginning with the 7 of Fire. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground, but choose your battles wisely. And speaking of the Emperor, here he is. Organization and logic. Structure and discipline. Leadership. Again, the Emperor not only represents foundations and stability and leadership for me, but the planet Mars, ruler of Aries and Scorpio, who is currently located in Aquarius. Here's an 11-2 in the suit of fire, both in the suit of fire. A 4 and a 7. An opening to the Queen of Air, who's independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, or it can actually be the planet Venus herself, the goddess Venus herself, or maybe even Mercury. He could be showing up here as the queen, right? It's not gender specific. Again, Venus, ruler of 2 air signs, Libra and Gemini. And Mercury, also ruler of Gemini as it relates to air. Both presently in Leo. Seven of Fire. Opening 2, or they're exposing Major Arcana card Balance, or Temperance in the traditional tarot, card number 14, which represents the sign of Sagittarius, but also for me, Aquarius, because this is a darn water bearer. I don't care what anybody says. He has 2 vessels in his hand. He's pouring water back and forth. He's standing in a pool. He's a water bearer. But in the tarot, Temperance represents the sign of Sagittarius. It's all about healing and restoration. So again, through what you guys are going, it's to be expected for this to show up. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. What's perfect timing? Divine timing, right? Seven of Fire and one more. Justice, Major Arcana card 8. And here's that 811 that it's been showing up for me for like the past 3 weeks or so with regard to the month of August as a whole, which the whole month is an 811, right? 8 represents the month and 11 represents the year, but also the intense energy of the 11th of August, when there will be a full solar eclipse during the sign of Leo, while the sun is in Leo. Justice represents the planet Venus yet again, and the sign of Libra, which she rules. And coming to the 4 of Water, missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. Overall energy is the World, which also represents fire energy for me. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, possibly Scorpio. And as Major Arcana card 21, can have something to do with a party of 3. As can the last several cards that we saw, actually, now that I think about it. Libra or justice can have something to do with some sort of legality. It can be connected to, particularly now, not only to karma as a number 8, Major Arcana card number 8 to karma, but also to like the disillusion of things and or people to which we're married, right? The ending of marriages, as in both a literal sense and a metaphorical sense, when we're married to something or someone, like feeling stuck and trapped and connected to them in that way. That may also be what another aspect of the mature man and the young male is the overall energy, and also the karmic female and the other female that can represent yourself and karmic energy, perhaps an actual person or a third energy, the divine masculine. I don't know if he has any children, but that definitely could represent a child, the young male. And that would be like, all the characters in there. And as we complete that karma, that being something that's coming to an end, but maybe not as quickly as we would have had it, but at the same time, it was in our power to end ourselves a long time ago, and we didn't. So that's why the universe is now stepping in. That's what the world means for me. A lot of people will tell you, the world means like, the world is your oyster, the world is your feet, the world in your hands, or whatever, however those cliches go. And those things tend not to be what it means for me. Tends to be what I just said. Very much like the energy of the tower, except this one is slow and can require some patience. Like once the universe finally gets moving on us, on whatever it is we should have gotten moving on ourselves that we never did, then a lot of times we begin to get anxious because we can feel ourselves being pulled out of the situation. We're like, okay, when is this going to be done? When am I going to get to move on to the next thing? But, it's like hurry up and wait because you had your opportunity to do it. Now you got to wait for karma to take care of it. A job well done. Joy, contentment, and gratitude in the path toward enlightenment. Crowning the masculine is the high priestess. So the high priestess, and the number 2, represents partnership, perhaps. Also faith, right? 2s are represented by faith. And it's in Roman numeral 2, the sign of Gemini, who the high priestess is, as far as I'm concerned. But this card, the high priestess in the tarot, also tends to represent the water signs. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. The high priestess she's an information gatherer. So she is that kind that takes information and then considers it carefully before she does anything, like she's playing a hand of cards. Surrounded by the 5 of water, not one of my favorite cards. To me, it's the energy of inappreciation, like not counting your blessings, not being thankful for what you do have. Got these 2 beautiful cups here and concern about like 1, 2, 3, something spilled out yet again. From which we should be moving on. This can be representative of the pain too. Some of the pain that we saw in the sorrow card, for example. Here's like the cups they're in water, so water is all about emotions and things. And, this could be like drowning in emotions, things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation and crying over spilled milk. Could represent the party of 3 I just spoke about with the energy of Libra and like divorcing something or someone to which we're married, either legally or metaphorically or something upon which we're codependent, or someone, or vice versa. Someone or something is codependent upon us. Speaking of codependent, the 10 of air is the end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. You may even be recovering from an addiction. So an addiction is any person, place, or thing upon which we are codependent, or vice versa, that is codependent upon us. So something ending, but still not necessarily being thankful about the fact that, okay, that's out of the way. And I'm still surrounded by blessings, especially these two beautiful cups that I got here. And we got 2 and 2, or 11 and 11. Not appreciating that, caught up in the 3 that are spilled out. Crowning the feminine, it's another 5. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. This is fears about relationship and stuff too. So this is one of the things that would have to be worked on and healed before things come together as you would want them to. It's fear of commitment. It's fear of abandonment. It's just fear, period. Paranoia, and like fear of lack, fear of the space never being filled, the hole, in your life never being filled. But the thing is, we got to fill that space ourselves. That's the thing. That's part of the karmic lesson. We got to fill that space and not be dependent upon somebody else to do it. And then where, that area is healed and somebody, something new can come in. We're not looking to, help other people to complete us, to have other people complete us, rather. We are complete, and then we join with another. Feminine surrounded by the King of Earth, generous, professional, responsible, and practical is the King of Earth. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. The King of Earth may be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Someone likened to those traits or attributes in your life. This can be somebody that facilitates abundance coming to you. If you are having some sort of physical feeling of lack and, shortcomings in some area, this could be somebody who helps to remedy that. Could be your own energy as well. Feminine subconscious, the 9 of air. So we have like mirroring one another. Your 9 and his 10, both of air. So both paranoid and, worried and fearful and connected to negative energy and needing to drop it. Especially the masculines, because he's already, progressed to the 10. The next step is the ace, and the new beginning. But you gotta expect it. You gotta have positive thoughts and faith, so you can manifest positivity into your life. The ace, it can also be a 1. Doesn't have to be an 11, right? In cards, it's either. It's another 5 for you. And I was looking at the 5s here because I was like, a 10 is nothing but 2 5s. And then you have the 5 of water here. Then I had seen something else in one of these cards. I think I was looking at the cups and I said, plus the 2 is fine. I don't know. But you still got several 5s, so the energy of 5 around you. The 5 of fire can be about conflict with others. So maybe representing that drama that we saw in the last spread. It can be about inner conflict too, like inner turmoil. As it relates to conflict with others, as far as I'm concerned, the others tend to be close family and or friends, including like exes, and particularly if we have children with them or we were married to them in some kind of way. There's like still family, to that extent. 5 can also, the 5 of fire can also represent just the planet Mars and the need to take action, right? Change what you're doing, this energy of inaction and, woe is me, and, just being frozen in fear, to taking action. At the root, major arcana card, awakening, which represents the planet Neptune and the energy of Pisces, which Neptune rules, and where Neptune is currently retrograde. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself in this moment. This major arcana card 12 equals 3, can again be about some sort of party of 3, and it's crossing the 5 of water. It can be connected to these 3 cups that are spilled out, which can also be connected to, again, the codependency and the toxicity that the masculine is leaving, that energy that he's leaving, and your overall energy of the world, which is, another 3. At the heart of the matter, the 7 of Earth, seeds well planted, a pause in action, a temporary pause in action, like that temporary heartbreak or temporary, pause that we saw in the last spread too. Also, unnecessary worry. Any worrying that you're doing is unnecessary. And here you got worry, right, with the 5 of Earth, and here you've got worry with the 9 of Air. The universe says you are expending, energy in a like a useless way. You could be putting that energy into something so much more positive and better for you. It's going to further you. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Worth waiting for. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. That can be what this is in part for you. Finances and career. And attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. That's what the law of attraction and manifestation is all about. Again, putting out positive energy, and that's what comes back to us, finances and career. And lastly, reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Reconciliation. But first, work on you. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Overall energy is heart-to-heart conversations. We're definitely connected to that communication and all that stuff we saw before. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other, but also I was made to see that behind it is healing family issues. So these conversations can also be with the family members that are probably represented by this 5 of fire here, and possibly by the gossip and drama that we saw in the last spread. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. And I did talk about father and son, where it's, again, it could be about the masculine and his father, or the masculine and his son, or both even. And it's not just your parents that you have to resolve issues with. It's anybody in your life that's, so impactful upon you that not healing the relationship with them one way or another, either by repairing it or walking away, prevents you from moving forward. So. Atop the High Priestess. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So again, the High Priestess is someone who, she plays her cards very carefully, but she is very well a Gemini, who is a communicator, right? Gemini, the sign of the great communicator, or perhaps a water sign and highly intuitive, or both, a Gemini and highly intuitive. And, it's going to draw on all of those things, logic, intuition, gut feelings, syncs and stuff, to determine what the next move should be. The romance angels step in to say, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Atop the 5 of Cups, give your relationship a chance. So of course the relationship represented by the 2 cups, like not worrying about, what's happened in the past, right? That's water under the bridge, spilled milk. Instead, just worry about working on your partnership now. Top the 10 of Swords, unrequited love. So remember I talked about divorcing something or someone or both. That's what this is. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep that relationship going. Top the 5 of Earth, and this worry and lack and pain. Despite all that, the Relationship still ascending to a higher level of commitment. Top the King of Earth. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So this could be around the time of, I was going to say Virgo, but I had also been feeling something before having to do with Venus in Virgo, which is this week, actually, the 10th, she enters Virgo. She'll be there for a while, so, like a month. So I guess it would go into near the period of Virgo. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely feeling very strong Virgo energy surrounding this very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And atop the 9 of air, flirt rather than worry. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. So it's saying let go of the heavy energy, the baggage, and keep it light, like Gemini energy, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, lighthearted, mutable, and that's going to help you going forward. Plus, this is in your head, so you got to take yourself down a notch. Atop the 5 of fire, and this worry, I said it could in part represent at least in part represent internal struggle. That's what it looks like it's doing here, reminding you that it's safe for you to love, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So in order to do that, we have to let go of the stuff like the fear and, the, oh, woe is me, in order to move forward, in order to be able to both in a healthy way give and receive. At the root, atop awakening, or the hanged man, which is like an air of suspension, a temporary pause. In the meantime, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And at the heart of the matter, attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So that's the seed that you planted. Like you planted the seeds of the law of attraction. And, you put some stuff out there. And so now we're waiting for it to grow and be returned to us for harvest with attraction. In addition, here, the masculine again on that path toward healing, golden path, which is very reminiscent for me of the yellow brick road. And this whole card is connected to the energy of the Wizard of Oz for me, from somewhere over the rainbow with all these this rainbow forest here, to the yellow brick road, and of course the path on the journey and the path toward healing. The purpose of being on the yellow brick road is to get to the end, to get to the Emerald City. And it's similar with the journey. It's like to get to the Emerald Ray. That's the ray of healing. So masculine on his way and, guided to remain on path. You are being gifted this energy of both air and earth. Maybe representative of whoever this king of earth is. I mean, they could both be your energy. As a possibility. And specifically Aquarius and perhaps Taurus. But also the other air signs, because then the energy of Venus in general tends to come in with this card and retreat and spending time with Mother Nature. And again, aside from Aquarius, Venus, the ruler of Libra and Gemini, as it relates to air, and then again Taurus as it relates to earth. And this is about the need again to do some meditation. Outside would be awesome if you could do it outside, and to spend some time outside in general with Mother Nature, connecting. That's going to open up the flow of abundance in all forms. For the masculine, travel. This can have to do with physical travel, and it's like the energy of, again, the Chariot, which represents the sign of Cancer. So that coming up yet again. Also connected for me to the retrogrades and like revisiting a situation or situations. Could be several things. It could be the reconciliation here, revisiting, again, issues from childhood and family, all of that. Also, a card of moving and movement, modes of transportation, again, like the Chariot. For you here, more earth sign energy, money. So connected to the energy of the King of Pentacles, of course, and abundance, preferably or likely rather financial and or material. Yeah, it's very positive. Also, it's a card of value and worth and deservingness. From the angels to the masculine, the Emperor is back. Again, the Emperor represents the planet Mars, the planet of action, leadership, aggression. The masculine planet of love, organization and logic, structure and discipline. Also leadership represents the signs of Aries and Scorpio, which Mars rules. Can be connected to the energy of a father figure, or an authority. For you, all about taking a chance, a leap of faith. Again, you have to let go of the worry in order to do that. You got worry here and here with 9 of air and 5 of pentacles. The dreamer is the Fool in the traditional tarot, represents the signs of Gemini and Virgo for me in this deck, because this card tends to represent the sign of planet rather, Mercury, ruler of both Gemini and Virgo. A leap of faith, follow your dreams, leads to unexpected opportunities. And from the romance angels, I believe we started with this, we're ending on it. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. What goes around comes around, right? Eventually, the wheel turns in your favor. And lastly, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. I hope that you've enjoyed your reading and you find it helpful. Namaste, dear.